is exactly 3 minutes to 9 o'clock East African time. Good evening. I trust you've had a wonderful day on this 21st day of October 2024, a day when Kenya continued to mark the Mashujaa Day celebrations. You're just in time for the Daily Report right here on TV47, the home of untold stories. I am George Maringa. Here are the highlights. Tonight, ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is raising eyebrows as he questions the formation of the three-judge bench set to hear his case. Fresh from an explosive press conference at the Karen Hospital, he is gearing up for a fierce legal battle for his political future. What's behind his sudden suspicion? Tune in for the latest developments. Tomorrow marks a pivotal moment for nearly 1 million students as they sit down for the highly anticipated KCPE exams. With the spotlight on them, tensions rise amid strict warnings about exam cheating and the severe consequences it brings.
I just want to caution those who might have an intention to steal. We have ensured all the loopholes have been sealed.
Will they rise to the occasion? Don't miss our coverage. Stay tuned as we bring you breaking news on the shocking collapse of a residential and commercial building in Kahawa West. What caused this devastating event? Are there still people trapped in the rubble? We'll have the latest updates and expert insights you won't want to miss. We thank you for choosing TV47 to inform you. We are broadcasting live from our headquarters in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. On sign language interpretation is Rhoda Nyamai. You can find me on the socials at George Maringa _. Let's begin with our top story tonight, where impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has raised concern over what he alleges is a well-orchestrated plan to deny him a fair trial. In a formal letter addressed to the Deputy Registrar of the High Court, he has raised concerns about the judicial process in a case contesting his impeachment, questioning the formation of a three-judge bench without the direct authorization of Chief Justice Martha Koome, whom Gachagua claims was out of the country when the bench was constituted. Now that story has been prepared by our very own Moiga William. Here is that report.
On Sunday, impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua expressed confidence that the courts were his only avenue to justice and a means to revive his political career.
The courts told us they don't want to interfere with the process, to let the parliamentary process get finished and then go to them. We have gone to them now. It's over. The courts will interrogate the process and make a determination.
However, just a day later, his outlook shifted. Gachagua formally wrote to the Deputy Registrar of the High Court, voicing concerns about what he claims to be a plan to deny him justice. He is particularly unsettled by the rapid convening of a judge bench to consider an application aimed at lifting an order that allegedly blocks the swearing-in of Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki as Deputy President. Through his lawyer John Jomo, Gachagua raised questions about inconsistencies among the judges on the bench: Lady Justice Frida Mugambi, Justice Eric Ogola, and Justice Anthony Mrima. He expressed skepticism about how this matter could be expedited when previously the same judges had indicated they were unavailable for another case until October 29th. Additionally, Gachagua called for an investigation into the transfer of the case file from Justice Chacha Mwita to the three-judge bench, allegedly done without the explicit instructions from the Chief Justice. In his letter, Gachagua suggested that Chief Justice Martha Koome may not have been in the country during these critical developments, raising further questions about the legitimacy of the proceedings. Gachagua also expressed dissatisfaction with Kapsaret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi, a close ally of President William Ruto. In his letter, Gachagua claimed that Sudi had previously indicated that Kindiki would be sworn in on October 22nd, leading him to suspect that the judge might be aligning with Sudi's interest. This development follows Gachagua's explosive media interview shortly after his discharge from Karen Hospital, in which he alleged that President Ruto is behind his troubles. Moige William, TV47.
Thank you, Moige William, for that report. And through some breaking news tonight, where the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the DCI, has invited the ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to record a statement regarding his claims of 2 assassination attempts. Gachagua is expected to present himself to the DCI headquarters on Kiambu Road in person to formally record his statement in what the DCI say will enable prompt and thorough investigations into the matter. Yesterday, upon his release from the Karen Hospital, Gachagua claimed, among other things, in an explosive press conference that he was the subject of 2 failed attempts at assassination, which he blamed on the president. We shall keep you updated on this developing story. Indeed, we shall be following that developing story and keep you updated, especially on the summons issued by the DCI to the Deputy President. Now, 3 people died in an early morning accident along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway at the Naivasha junction. The accident involved a coast bus and a personal car that collided head-on. 22 others are nursing injuries. Willie Dennis Njiru with this story from Naivasha.
This is the wreckage of a Kitale-bound bus that left Mombasa 3 p.m. Sunday, full to capacity, not privy that 12 hours later the journey was to take a halt here. It's 20 passengers suffering various degree of injuries.
Tumetoka Mombasa saa 9:30 tuelekea Kitale. Gari imekuja vizuri, tukasimama mtoto wandi kidogo, tukaja salama, tukafika Nairobi salama. Kufika hapa gari ndogo imetokezea huko kando ikawa ina cross barabara. Na dereva alikuwa at high speed. So hakuweza kushika emergency, akaigonga hiyo gari katikati.
Sasa kwa ile harakati ambayo ilitokezea tukakuwa na ajali, kuna mtu mwenye alikuwa anatokezea upande mbele mwenye alikuwa na hiyo gari nyingine ndogo. Ndiye alikuja akakosa mwelekeo kidogo. Driver wetu ambaye alikuwa kwenye basi akashuta kudhibiti gari.
It is said that the driver of this car miscalculated his entry to the major highway, and in the failure to give way, the vehicles crashed head-on, where he and a front passenger died on the spot.
Tukapata kuna kaa ilikuwa inajaribu kuingia kwa barabara, ambapo huyu dereva wetu alimuona akapiga on, lakini sasa ikawa ameingia kimakusudi. Sasa ndio tukapata ajali. Watu wengi wameumia, tukakuwa admitted katika Naivasha Referral, na pia kuna wenye walipoteza maisha yao. Walipoteza takriban watu 3.
Alipiga on brake ikakataa. Vile breki likataa akatupeleka kwa mtaro, tukashikwa na ukuta mtaro.
The junction is a notorious black spot on the trunk highway that has often bore headache to motorists over snarl-ups and speed on instances with a clarion call for express flyover.
Kwa serikali nawaomba katika barabara zenye zinajoin barabara kuu waweze kuweka vitu kama flyover, ndio angalau tuweze kupunguza hii mambo ya ajali, kwa sababu pale inasikika kuwa watu wengi wamepoteza maisha yao pale.
The bodies of the deceased were taken to Naivasha morgue, while the wreckage was moved to the police station as police probe the incident.
Kama si ile mali iliingia kwa mtaro, kama kwa na mtaro, hiyo gari ingeumiza watu wengi sana.
Reporting for TV47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Thank you, Willie Dennis, for that report. Almost 1 million candidates are expected to begin their Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exams on Tuesday. These candidates are scheduled to start with practical exams in French, German, Sign Language and Music. The Ministry of Education has confirmed that all preparations have been completed, emphasizing the importance of ensuring transparency and fairness during this process. Andrin Kilemi reports.
After months and years of preparation, approximately 965,501 candidates across the country will sit their KCSE national exams starting tomorrow, Tuesday. For many of the candidates, the KCSE is not just an exam but a defining moment that will shape their future. The candidates are scheduled to kickstart the journey with practical exams in French, German, Sign Language and Music before the start of theory exams next week. The Ministry of Education has emphasized the importance of maintaining a fair and transparent examination process. Murang'a County Director of Education Ann Kiilu has confirmed that all is set in Murang'a to facilitate the administration of national exams.
We want to promise the parents that we are going to deliver a credible examination, and we are calling upon all parents, wherever they are, they should just pray for our candidates when they are at home. We want to encourage our teachers also to continue preparing, to continue praying for this country.
West Pokot County Commissioner Khalif Abdullahi has warned anyone attempting to disrupt the national examination process that legal action will be taken against them.
I just want to caution those who might have an intention to steal. We have ensured all the loopholes have been sealed, and the exams are going to be conducted fairly.
According to the Kenya National Examination Council, the KCSE exams will begin tomorrow, the 22nd of October. The Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA and the Kenya Intermediate Level Education Assessment KILEA will begin on the 28th of October. Already, the Ministry of Education has issued new guidelines for this year's national exams aimed at combating exam malpractice. These regulations include prohibiting invigilators from accessing examination rooms with mobile phones, printing candidates' name on examination papers, and ensuring that exam supervisors do not remain at one examination center for extended periods. As this happens, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers (KUPPET) has raised concerns about inadequate compensation for teachers involved in the marking of national exams.
Teachers are still being paid a paltry 150 shillings, something which even the groundsmen and the groundswomen that we employ in our own backyards are not being paid. This is very unfortunate. In fact, we are contemplating a raft of actions related to this. We are still picking views from our members. Whatever they will tell us, that is what we will go by.
Andrin Kilemi, TV47.
Thank you, Andrin, for that. To matters health, the National Syndemic Diseases Control Council, NSDCC, held a two-day summit focused on sex and sexuality for people with disabilities, marking a crucial step towards healthcare inclusivity. This summit highlighted long overlooked issues, including gender-based violence and access to services, while pushing for greater representation and tailored health solutions for people with disabilities. Anne Odida with more.
The National Syndemic Diseases Control Council's today's summit on sex and sexuality for people with disabilities marked a critical turning point in addressing long overlooked issues of healthcare inclusivity. For years, people living with disabilities had been marginalized, particularly in decisions impacting their health and well-being. The summit declared that this group will no longer remain passive recipients of healthcare policies, but instead demand an active role in shaping those decisions.
How can it be addressed? Because if people with disability are associated with sex, to the public of the society, it seems it's something abnormal.
So our call to government is to ensure inclusion in decision-making spaces, especially in health and HIV prevention. We want to be included in the conversation. We want our ideas to be captured because we are the shoe wearers and we know where the shoe pinches.
Dr. Ruth Laibon-Masha, CEO of NSDCC, emphasizes growing demand for inclusion, underscoring how essential it is for people with disabilities to have a voice in decisions that affect their lives.
We have been looking at our data gaps. We have serious data gaps on the HIV response, close to 40 years of our response, and we cannot confidently stand here and tell you the numbers of people with disability that we are serving.
One of the summit's key revelations was a significant and often hidden burden of gender-based violence faced by men with disabilities.
Men who have their spouse without disabilities. There's a lot going there. We talked about gender-based violence. It has not come out to talk about men with disabilities.
Access to healthcare services, particularly for HIV, STIs and TB, has long been a challenge for many. However, for people with disabilities, these challenges are exacerbated by structural, physical and informational barriers. Health Principal Secretary Harry Kimtai stressed that universal health coverage USC is meaningless if entire segments of the population are excluded.
Our most important goal is as we roll out universal health care coverage, no one should be left behind.
Innovative measures like the proposal to create braille-marked condoms for the visually impaired were discussed as steps towards ensuring greater inclusivity.
So I expect this to be a policy decision by the ministry, and we'll take it up. We have picked it as one of those very critical policy that we need to make a decision on.
The Ministry of Health also announced that it is taking further steps towards inclusion, including incorporating assistive devices and providing health packages for people with disabilities through the Social Health Authority SHA. However, the ministry admitted that precise data on how many individuals with disabilities had registered under SHA was still lacking, and efforts to encourage their participation remain ongoing. Ann Odida, TV47.
Thank you, Odida, for that. Careful excavation and the frantic search for missing persons is in high gear following the shocking collapse of a 7-story building at Kahawa West, Nairobi County yesterday. As this happens, the Nairobi County Building Construction Team continues to look into construction standards in the area to prevent further tragedies like this, as fresh revelations show the ill-fated building was constructed in a former quarry, raising concern about the structural integrity of the whole neighborhood, a reality that emerged after several buildings close by were found to have worrying cracks. Anastasia Mukabi reports.
Rescue operations are ongoing at Quarry Kahawa West as rescuers and friends and family alike attempt to find any survivors and salvage any shred of their lost belongings. Following the deadly and shocking collapse, a 7-story building that caved yesterday morning. Fresh revelation showed that the site where the ill-fated building and others was built was once a quarry, raising concern over the structural safety of other buildings in the neighborhood. The Nairobi County Building Construction Team moved from one building to the next to assess their condition of buildings, with some buildings found with some cracks, leading the authorities to issue a notice for the residents to vacate from the condemned building. Tobias Acheng, a survivor from this tragedy, narrated how he almost died in his haste to escape as a person with disability.
Immediately, I just saw some people coming to rescue me from where I was sleeping, and then I found myself in the hospital. When I came back, I was shocked to find my house very empty. I feel very painful and very sad, and I don't know what to do now.
However, it is a sigh of relief to residents at Kahawa West, since they were able to save many lives for raising an alarm early enough to trigger evacuations.
Kama singepiga hiyo simu yenye nilipiga, hiyo ni kumaanisha wale watu wenye wangekufa kwa hiyo plot, si mtu mmoja ama wawili.
As the investigations continue, the owner of this house, Patrick Rwamba, is yet to be found. Anastasia Mkabi, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Anastasia. A section of Kikuyu elders and the church in Kiambu are yet to agree on whether or not to conduct boys' circumcision this year, even as parents gear up preparations to the rite of passage to their sons in a week's time. This is due to transition on the education calendar to grade 9 as compared to the traditional class 8. Our reporter Willie Dennis Njiru with the details.
Speaking during a parents and guardian seminar held at Kiambu Town, the chairperson of Kiama Commando Wakagwe and Kiambaa Sub-County Chair Kimani Wanjogu expressed their confidence that the exercise will go on as planned.
Mambo ya kutairisha vijana na kuwasomesha na wazazi wamekubali. Sasa kwa hiyo wale vikundi wanasema watairisha vijana. Sasa hawa watakaa hivyo, lakini kundi yetu ya wazee kiama sisi tuko tayari kutairiza vijana.
As has been the norm and tradition in the region, the initiation of teen boys at the age of 13 to 15 years is mandatory, with the elders expecting over 800 boys to turn up for the rite of passage that has shown consistency for over a decade now.
Tukisema tutatahiri watoto na shule, tutakuwa tunawakosea sana, kwa sababu hata masomo hatujui yaweza tena iende grade 10, ibadilike tena iende grade 11. Sijui kama tutakuwa tunabadilisha na masomo ama tutakuwa tunabadilisha na vile tulikuwa tumezoea kama Wakikuyu.
Parents in attendance at the consultative seminar dismissed calls from the elders and churches, in contrary to the effecting the cut until the government transition plans to grade 9 are complete.
Wakipita na age, sidhani ukimpeleka next year itakuwa a little bit challenge, because miaka yake itakuwa imepita kidogo, lakini hatupeleki watoto kwa sababu tunaweza sema ati kwa sababu amemaliza shule ama nini, but age yake imefika.
However, adding that the discretion to take up the transition aspect of their sons to manhood was not vested on academics but age, and it was important to honor the biblical tradition.
Hata kuna wale wengine wanatahiri hata wakiwa kwa mahospitali, wakiwa wadogo, na wakija kwa shule tunakaa na wao. Sasa tunataka tufunze hawa wetu. Wanatahiri wakiwa na ile miaka ile iko sawa, na wakienda kwa shule tutawaambia vile watakaa na hawa watoto wengine.
The elders advise the boys on how to relate with their parents, their siblings and their teachers. So don't expect this boy to grow horns and start behaving like an adult in front of his teacher. Actually, the teacher will have a better student and a better pupil with him having undergone the cut.
Reporting for TV47, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Thanks, Willie Dennis Njiru, for that report. And back to our earlier story, where the Directorate of Criminal Investigation has invited the Deputy President. Some clarification we've gotten from the Director of DCI, Amin Mohammed, where he says that the letter is not a summon. We have invited him to come and record a statement in regard to the serious allegation he made touching on his life. We have not summoned him. We are seeking him to come forward and substantiate the claims by offering information to investigators as a complainant. He may choose to come or not, but we will appreciate if he will come, because those are huge allegations we need to probe. Once again, the Director of the DCI, Amin Mohammed, saying that the letter is not a summon. We have invited him to come and record a statement in regard to the serious allegation he made touching on his life. We have not summoned him. We are seeking him to come forward and substantiate the claims by offering information to investigators as a complainant. He may choose to come or not, but we will appreciate if he will come, because those are huge allegations we need to probe. That is from the DCI Director, Amin Mohammed. We will continue following that report, that developing story for you. Elders from the Wardei and Welwana communities in Tana North Sub-County have urged an end to the conflicts that have claimed the lives of 18 people. The elders spoke at a time Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana also has called on them to use peace committees to resolve disputes between them. He also urged all communities in Tana River to maintain peace in order to secure development from both the national government and county governments. The elders have promised not to engage in any form of violence and expressed their commitment to cooperation and peace among themselves.
Na sisi kama wazee wa Tana River na viongozi wa Tana River tunawashukuru sana kwamba rais amepitisha Kindiki, kwa sababu Kindiki anatoka hapa juu Tharaka Nithi ni neighbors wetu, ni majirani wetu hapa. Tuko na wa Mataraka wengi sana, tuko na Wameru wengi sana hapa kwetu Tana River. Kwa hivyo tunafurahia ya kwamba huyu waziri jirani yetu ametangazwa kuwa sasa ndio makamu wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
To health matters once again, community health promoters, CHPs, are spearheading the fight against cervical and breast cancer by bringing screening services and health education directly to homes. Through door-to-door outreach, CHPs are empowering women with life-saving knowledge about early detection and prevention, even as this is a critical step in reducing preventable cancer deaths in the country. Take a look.
Community health promoters, CHPs, are taking the lead in the fight against cervical and breast cancer by bringing life-saving information and screening services directly to people's doorsteps and educating women on the importance of early detection and prevention.
It is preventable. And so what we're doing is we're partnering to really look at, starting with the community, how do we create awareness around cervical cancer and breast cancer screening?
Wengine zile maelezo wanasikiaga huko nje si zile wapatia jinsi ya kujiprotect and to protect themselves. Another thing, second, it was prevention.
Many women who have participated in these programs have spoken about how the home visits have changed their perceptions, helping them to recognize the need for routine screening as part of their healthcare routine.
Mimi ni survivor. Naenda house to naenda kuelimisha wamama wakuje wapimwe cervical cancer.
Nafurahia sana venye community health promoters wamekuja hapa. Wametufundisha mambo mingi. Na pia ningependa wafikie wanawake wengi huko nje.
During the commemoration of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Bungoma, the Ministry of Health also reiterated its commitment to expanding access to screening services. The event underscored the government's efforts to reduce cancer-related deaths, especially through initiatives like the Women's Integrated Cancer Services Project. This project, along with others, is focused on increasing access to cancer screening and treatment across the country.
Several countries were selected, Kenya included, and others are Cote d'Ivoire and Zimbabwe, and they are the ones implementing the project for breast cancer, cervical cancer, screening and treatment.
As the combined efforts of the government and CHPs continue to grow, the country is making strides toward reducing the impact of cervical and breast cancer. The focus is not just on treatment, but on empowering women to take control of their health through education and regular screening.
Indeed. Now, while the nation celebrated heroes and heroines in various fields during the Mashujaa Day commemoration in Kwale County, some of Kenya's best brains still remain forgotten despite having made remarkable contributions in shaping the country's history. TV47 visited Mzee Meza Morowe's family in Tana River County, one of the men behind Kenya's national anthem, but whose contribution lies in the dark even in his death. Our reporter Arnold Adidi tells us more.
This is Makere village in Galole constituency, Tana River County. This village is widely known here for being home to the late Mzee Meza Morowe Galana, one of the main composers of Kenya's national anthem. His family, however, feels like the current state of his home and family does not reflect his contribution.
Tunaona ni kama madharau. Mtanisamehe lakini ninasema ni kama madharau. Wimbo wa taifa unaoimbwa lakini hakuna matendo yoyote yanayotokea.
Mzee Gafo Hiribae, one of Maize's longest friends, narrates how this hero's unique composition became part of Kenya's national anthem.
Mwaka wa 1959 wakati huo mamao ilimalizika na kumbe wazungu wamepanga sisi tupate uhuru. Kukaja mzungu mmoja ambaye ni Minister of Culture and Music katika East Africa. Kisha wiki ya pili ndipo alipotuambia nataka mtoe nyimbo za kitamaduni tutakazozitumia wakati mtakapokuwa uhuru kama wimbo wa taifa. Sote hatukuelewa. Sisi tulidhani wazungu wanakaa. Lakini mwisho tukatoa. Na Meza Galana akatoa wimbo na yeye. Huyo mzungu akaziandika akaenda nazo Nairobi, akazipeleka katika mashindano katika jumba la michezo la Nairobi. Tukakaa kidogo, Meza akaletewa barua na huyo mzungu anaitwa Graham Heslop. Akaleta barua kwa Meza kwamba wimbo wake umefaulu. Sasa kutoka pale ulipofaulu tukaanza kuisikia sauti ya ule wimbo inachezwa katika national gathering. Na nikiimba Kipokomo unasema be mdondo be mdondo be.
Despite Moroa's children having seen their father at his prime and even rubbing shoulders with great men, they sadly state that nothing tangible was offered to Moroa during his lifetime, only to be given a hero's send-off when he passed on in 2015.
Na hiyo mazishi yake ndio ili kidogo, yani ndio tuliona yani walifanya mazishi kama ambaye wamezika shujaa, kwa sababu walitoa pesa, county government walitoa pesa, national government walitoa pesa. Mazishi yalikuwa mazuri ukweli. Hiyo ndio kitu wamefanya.
Saa hii hata ukiona wanaimba wimbo wa taifa, wanasimama, wanatoa heshima zote. Na mwenye alikuwa pengine amechangia hatambuliki, imekaa kama ambaye hakuna kitu kimefanyika.
Sasa mtu akipita ni kuonyeshana na vidole, ndio ile kaburi ya shujaa, ndio ile kaburi ya shujaa, lakini hakuna kitu. Na mpaka sasa kufikia sasa huwa sio kuwa ati watu hawaji, wanakuja kabisa hapa, kuna kuja tofauti.
While the family accepts that this hero went unnoticed in the way they wished, they insist that the government has to remember Mzee Meza Moroa's contribution, even if it means dignifying his final place of rest, which still plays host to a few people who visit here in their pursuit of the history of Kenya's national anthem.
Na alikuwa akiongozi hivi. Yani jina lake huwa ni kama taa. Huwa saa zote liko mbele.
Kwa ajili ya huo wimbo ndiposa alikuwa akizunguka wakimfuatia na kwenda hata Hola kwa yani kumjulisha. Lakini kitu cha ajabu ni kwamba katika hizo hali zote hakuna manufaa yoyote isipokuwa ni haka kajumba tu peke yake.
To any other citizen, the sounding of Kenya's national anthem probably arouses a patriotic feeling, but for Mzee Meza Moroe Galana's family, the sound is a constant reminder of their father's contribution, which remains forgotten even in his death.
Sisi tunajua pengine hawezi kutupatia chochote ama hatuwezi tukabenefit chochote kwa sababu si mwenye alifanya hivyo ameenda. Kwa hivyo akienda ndio mambo yamekufa hivyo. Lakini tunaomba serikali, mbona wasikumbuke licha ya mzee peke yake, hawa mashujaa wote wenye walingangana walifanya kitu chenye kinatambulika mpaka nchi za nje. Kwa nini wasiwakumbuke kama serikali? Wanajiangalia binafsi zao peke yao.
Arnold Adidi, TV47.
You're watching the Daily Report on X. You can find us at TV47 News or at George Maringa _ River FB says, looking forward to staying updated with tonight's news from at TV47 News. We thank you for choosing us to inform you. We are taking a short break. When we come back, we still have more news on the other side of this break. Do stay with us.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in? I was number 2. What position were you? Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair on the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
To hard lessons.
The consoles change, the gaming equipment keep changing.
We cover it all. Tune in to The Grind, where every episode is packed with insights.
The person who is serving customers, always be a customer-centric.
Strategies.
When you pay attention to detail, you get luxury items.
And stories to fuel your ambition. Don't just dream it, grind it. Mondays at 7:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching the Daily Report. In case you're just joining us, welcome to the broadcast. I am George Maringa. On sign language is Kelvin Makori. As the harvest season for the maize crop continues in Trans Nzoia County, the government has promised local farmers to buy their produce at attractive prices, even as a strong warning has been issued to the brokers who typically buy the produce directly from the farmers after it emerged that some of them have been tampering with the weighing machines in order to shortchange the farmers. Isaac Famba has prepared the following story from Trans Nzoia. Take a look.
It is a harvest season for maize farmers in Trans Nzoia County, and many farmers are fully engaged in activity, each one of them hoping for a bumper harvest. However, the perennial issue of affluent brokers threatens their ability to gain from their hard work, a situation that the government is attempting to fix. The government, through Trans Nzoia County Commissioner Gideon Oyagi, has strongly cautioned the fraudulent brokers of harsh action against them should they be found conning local farmers out of their hard-earned harvest money.
Kuna mataberi wakulima wako hapa na wanategea mafuno yenu. Nimeongea na mheshimiwa gavana, kuna wale wako na weigh bridge hapa Kitale, wako na kilo zao mingi iko na kasoro. So ndio naomba mheshimiwa gavana, hizo way bridge ziko hapo, utume watu wa weights and measures waweze kupima, tujue kama wamenyonga ama siko kamili, kwa sababu tumepata uchumbe ya kwamba mtu anapima magunia yake 200 kutoka kwa boma, akifika pale anaambiwa 30 imepotea. Itapotea namna gani? Kwani wewe kilo yako ilikuwa mbaya namna gani? Hata ukitumia maji utaona hiyo ni 90, 91 or 85. So nataka kuomba wakulima muwe macho kabisa, na hapana kubali mahindi yako yatoke kwa boma kabla hujalipwa.
A member of Agriculture Committee in Parliament, who is also the MP of Kwanza constituency, Ferdinand Wanyonyi, has urged farmers not to sell their maize immediately to the brokers, instead promising the farmers that the government will soon start buying their maize at a better price.
Price ya mahindi ilikuwa chini. Hatutaki tulete mahindi kutoka nje. Na nataka niwaambie usiuzie watu rejareja. Cereal sport imekuwa instructed. Natakuwa na stores kila pahali. Pesa sasa, price ya mahindi kunia moja ni shilingi elfu ngapi? 1,400. See it of 2,000. Tuko pamoja?
Trans Nzoia County Governor George Maringa has reiterated his government's plan to distribute enough maize seeds to the farmers during next year planting season to boost food production in the county.
Tunajua kwamba maisha ni magumu sana. Lakini watu wetu wameenda kwa shamba, wala ambao tulipatia mbegu, kuna wengine waliuza kidogo. Lakini wengi hawakuuza, si ndio? Hawa ndio mashujaa wetu. Maana sisi tumesema lazima tufukuze njaa kutoka kwenye kaunti yetu. Hatuwezi kufukuza njaa kama kunaleta mipango kama hizo, alafu napata wengine wanaharibu. Na mwaka ujao pia tutaleta mbegu nyingine. Tumeelewana? Mapema tutakuwa tumeleta mbegu, tumeweka fedha shilingi milioni 100 kwa bajeti. Kuanzia mwezi wa kwanza, mwezi wa pili tutakuwa mko na mbegu, mnangojea tu mvua inyeshe na kupanda.
Isaac Famba, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Sports news brought to you.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in? I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair on the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
To hard lessons.
The consoles change, the gaming equipment keep changing.
We cover it all. Tune in to The Grind, where every episode is packed with insights.
The person who is serving customers, always be a customer-centric.
Strategies.
When you pay attention to detail, you get luxury items.
And stories to fuel your ambition. Don't just dream it, grind it. Mondays at 7:30 p.m.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za viongozi bora. Kutoka kwa ushindi mkubwa hadi masomo magumu.
Wakati wetu kwamba wasichana si wa kusoma, ni wa kuolewa, ng'ombe ipatikane, wazazi wakuwe watajiri.
Tunashughulikia yote.
I wish I were a better investor.
My parents taught me how to look for things for myself.
Tazama Mfahamu Kiongozi, ambapo kila kipindi kimejaa maarifa, mikakati na hadithi za kukuza azma yako.
For me to succeed, I have to fight.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30.